Many of you have been praying with us about Taylor, and I got some exciting news. Taylor had his surgery last week, and they took out the port that they have where they normally give him all of his medication. We're excited about that. That ends his surgeries. We had a celebration there and celebrated in the hospital. I appreciate all the prayers down through the years. That's 3 years of treatment he's been through. And now we really have to start praying because we never want to have a setback with our little Taylor. Thank you for the prayers, and we would covet your prayers in the future. Okay, that takes us to the most exciting part, one of the most exciting parts of our Game Plan for Life project. And we've been talking about LifeWay coming out with our Game Plan for Life small group study. Now, in doing this, LifeWay put a lot into it. We came here. We had our co-host, Derwin Gray, and myself, and we shot a lot of video about racing and the comparisons there on the different topics. We then went to the football fields here and did the same thing. In other words, talking and relating football and the game of football to the game of life. I think it's extremely well done. The intro videos, I think, will kind of lay out things for the small group study, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I think it's something that is extremely well done. Now, the Game Plan for Life small group study will come in a box like this, okay? Kind of a scary person on the front of it. Then inside of that box will be the study guide, which you'll have, which kind of takes you through the study. Verbally written. We have also the Game Plan for Life videos that will do the introduction and give you a lot of material about what is going to be in the study. And then also in the Game Plan for Life small group study, we're going to have the book included. Now, having said that, we started out with, you wouldn't want to take all 11 topics. We thought that was too many. We took we chose 6 topics that we think everybody will really be interested in. I want to highlight those. Number 1 is who is the coach? Who is God? Okay, in the game of life. And we gave that to Ken Boa. I think a lot of you recognize that name. Ken will be talking about God. Who is He? We've talked many times. I've kind of shared with you, can we be an accident? Okay, we either have 2 choices. You and I are an accident, or somebody really made us and cares about us. He created this world, and I think it's fairly obvious. When you talk about a watch, there's a watchmaker. When you talk about the world, there's a world maker. So in this very first introductory study, Ken Boa takes on who is the coach in the game of life, and it's God. Second, we have Josh McDowell, and we talk about the ultimate playbook. That's Josh McDowell. As you guys know, he's written many books. This is his area, his field. I think he's done a great job of laying out, okay, if we have a loving God that's all-powerful, would He leave you and I here without a game plan? Hey, when I was a coach of the Redskins, one of the most important jobs I did was what? Craft a game plan for the players. So God's our coach in the game of life. He's laid out His game plan, and He left it as what? The Bible. And here Josh lays out the archaeological finds that verify the Bible. He goes into and describes the hundreds of prophecies in the Old Testament that tells us about Christ's coming, His death, burial, and resurrection in the New Testament. And so he lays out the fact that this playbook left for you and I, and what we're trying to say in this study, it addresses the modern day game plan for life that you and I need to live the game, play the game the way it should be played. Third topic, getting on God's team. How do you do that? And in this, we gave this topic to Chuck Colson. Most of you recognize Chuck's name, many books, a real scholar, and he kind of lays out, hey, the way to get on God's team. And basically what he's saying there is this: we invite Christ into our life. You get on God's team by going through Christ, asking Him to come into our life, forgive us of our sins, and then allow us to have a personal relationship with Him. Chuck lays this out on how to get on God's team, the simple prayer that we can use to get on God's team. But the key there is what? Not the words, but our heart. Do we really want to have a personal relationship with Him and invite Him into our life and forgive us of our sins? Chuck does a great job of that. Number 4, the fourth topic we have. How did life begin? Well, we felt like we needed to give that to one of the most renowned scientists, John Lennox. And John really lays out the fact that we can't be an accident. This world is too perfectly made. We're too perfectly made. We can't find another world like this anywhere. And so he lays it out from a scientific standpoint. Okay, we have two choices. We're an accident or somebody created us. I think John does a great job of laying this out and stating the case for how did life begin. The fifth topic is finances. That's something in modern day we struggle with. Ron Blue took this topic. Ron had his own firm for years. He's renowned in the Christian world and what God has to say about finances. And the reality is, God knew we were going to really struggle in this area. I'm a good example of my life, as is laid out in the book. I mean, I made a huge error. Had I only been studying what God has to say about finances. He mentions finances over 2,000 times in the Bible. That's much more than any other topic. He knew that we were going to struggle in that area, and he lays out the game plan for that. So Ron Blue takes finances. That takes us down to the sixth topic, okay, and that's sin and addiction. And really in life, it's playing hurt, just like we do in football. Ravi Zacharias, we gave him this topic. This is a tough topic for all of us, okay? And the key here is what? Okay, we can't overcome many times the sin and addiction and the sin problems we have in our life. But the key that Ravi lays out is this: we can't do it on our own. God, He can do all things. And so if we're on God's team, then He is the one can help us overcome. And of course, He also is the one that can forgive us of our sins. So those are the 6 topics that are laid out in this first small group study. We're extremely excited about it. I would really urge anybody out there, please, your churches, many churches already told us that they're studying the book and use it as a small group study. We encourage everybody out there to do that. Any of your friends or any of you in your churches, I'd encourage you please to, if you feel like this would be something worthwhile, we think it's extremely well done. Now, the way to get it, you can order online at www.lifeway.com. That's one way you can get it. You can obviously go to our website, gameplanforlife.com. And then the third way, you can go to a LifeWay Christian bookstore. So there's 3 different ways you can get it. We made that easy for you. I've tried to lay it out a little bit here for you today. It's our hope that this LifeWay small group study on Game Plan for Life will really take off. Thank you for joining me today. Look forward to seeing you next week.